Welcome to today's discussion on frames. Basically, we can create web pages using frames. Of course, we can also create web pages without frames. The significance of frames is that your website will look more structured and it will be easy for you to maintain your website. It is easily troubleshootable. All the web pages that are created using frames can be easily checked for errors in comparison to those web pages that do not use frames. So, whether you should use frames or you should not use frames, it depends on your knowledge across the board. Like all web technologies that are in use, based on your knowledge on the web technologies that are in use across the board, you can take a call. But what I suggest you is that before thinking of creating a web page using frames or without frames, first of all you have to dream how your web page will look like. So what you should do is take a piece of paper and chalk out on it how your web page will look like. For that reason, what you have to do is that you have to go through several websites or web pages which are having similar interest. Based on that, you can decide how your website should look like. Always you can chalk out a look on a piece of paper. At the same time, you should also think that your website should be faster, it should be very highly responsive, it should not ever run into errors, its color combination should be good, its homepage should not have heavy animations, its homepage should not have heavy videos. So you need to keep in view the bandwidth of the clients as well as viewers. So all these things come into the picture. But however, first you chalk out on your paper how it should look like, and then think of the technologies that are to be used so that you achieve that particular look. But at the same time, you also consider various factors which I just mentioned, because if your website is not performing, then you will be losing the visitors rather than gaining them, which will have a larger impact on the work you are doing. The objective of today's discussion is to study about usage of frames in the design of web pages. So you will be studying how to use the frames, but then you want to use it or you want to use some other technology, it's up to you. But however, in today's discussion, we will be focusing on frames in the design of web pages. So how we use frames in a web page? Of course, let us note that the concept of frames using HTML we have already discussed in some of our earlier discussions. Also, we demonstrated various issues relating to the frames, and we will be using Microsoft Expression Web. However, it should be noted that you can use any other web design tools instead of Microsoft Expression Web. Frames are primarily a tool to include structure within a web page. At present, frames are not preferred by web designers who are creating logical structure of a web page using div tags coupled with separate CSS for each division. CSS means cascading style sheets. So they are used more often now. Yet conceptually, the frames are still useful for creating a structure. A web page can consist of multiple frames. Frames never contain any visible content such as text, images, graphics and other elements. It just acts as a container to specify which web page to display and how to display the web page in that frame. A frame may contain multiple frames. So this is quite interesting. So you should not just divide things by frame. Once you divide a web page with the frames, again you treat each frame as a web page and you can have further divisions. So you can have frames inside frames. A frame that contains multiple frames is sometimes called a frames page. Every frame may display a different web page. You can also create frames page by using websites frame templates, a predefined format for creating frames in web pages and websites. The frame template also allows setting up the navigation between frames. A typical frames page may consist of a banner frame, a contents frame and a main frame. So there are three parts here. One is the banner frame where you can put some heading to your web page. Then you will have the content frame where you will be putting the entire content of that web page, and then you have a main frame. So that is the parent frame, which is further divided into different parts. If you create your web page through the template banner and contents frames, it will show 4 pages: the frames page, banner frame, contents frame and main frame simultaneously in the browser. The frames page itself acts like a container which contains the 3 other frames, as you can see them in the figure. The frames page shown in the image, it consists of 3 frames, and you have to note that you may select a different frame template options as shown in the images here. Like if you look at the 5th image in this presentation, there you will be able to find it. So it is also possible that you select a different frame template options to select a frames page with a different format. Such selection in Microsoft Expression Web is possible through the Frames Pages tab. The most common frames page for website development is banner and contents frame, as can be seen in the image. The different frames in the image are: one is banner frame, the other is contents frame and the other is mains frame. Also, in the earlier discussions, we have designed a sample web page. It was created without using frames. So what we will be doing is, let us try to create the same website but with the help of frames, so that you will easily distinguish between a website without frames and with frames. What we will be doing is that we will be keeping the same layout and the same content. You have to take a close look at the following web page. The top portion with IGNOU logo, name and marquee text can be part of a banner frame. The contents frame may include the entire hyperlink section, which includes links for a home, program and results. And finally, the main frame can display all the information related to the items in the contents frame. So you can easily use the frames page banner and contents to create this particular frame based web page. However, as you know, a frame does not contain any contents like text, graphics, animations. So you first need to develop the web pages that will contain the specified content. So you need to create a page containing IGNOU logo, name and the marquee text. Then another page containing the list of hyperlinks like home, program and other pages containing the detailed contents. If you see the image, you can find that the contents frame is set to the page containing a list of hyperlinks such as programs, contact us, results, home and others. Similarly, the other frames are set to specified web pages. So what we have to note here is that on clicking a hyperlink program in the content frame will display a page in the main frame. Similarly, the content of main frame will change as per your selection of hyperlinks in the contents frame. So as per your selection on a particular hyperlink in the contents frame, it will open the related web page into the main frame. Now, if you have a look at the third image in our presentation, there you can see that you can click on About Us link and it will show you the contents of About Us in main frame. So for this present design, you have to prepare as many pages for main frame as are the number of hyperlinks in the contents frame. Now let us demonstrate the process of creating the web page using frames. Of course, I am not going to run the software and show to you, but I will be demonstrating by the way of the snapshots. So to begin with, what we need is that we have to create a frames page using the frames page templates. There are a number of frames page templates as you are using the banner and contents frame. Therefore, you need to select this particular template. You have to follow the steps which I am going to tell you to create the required frames page. So the step 1 is that you select file menu and click on the new file. Then the new task pane gets invoked. In the new task pane, under page, select frames pages. Okay, so first when you selected new, from there you selected the page, and from there you selected the frames pages. So this is the second step. The third step is that you select banner and contents templates as shown in the image, and you preview the layout and then click OK. Now you will arrive at a page as shown in the image. However, you can now set the initial page that is to be shown in each frame. Earlier also we discussed that frames do not contain any content of its own. Therefore, after creating frames, you need to link them with some HTML page. In other words, you need to set an initial page on a frame such that the contents of that page are displayed in the frame. So, you can observe that the set initial page button in each of the 3 frames. When you click on that button, an insert hyperlink dialog box gets invoked. Also, you have to type the address of the location of the web page you want to display on that particular frame and then press the OK button. You can select several other options like place in this document, which allows you to create hyperlinks within the documents, or you can create a new web page using the option. So, now you can use this particular option, create new document. So, if you look at the figure, you can find that while creating frames on a web page, you must follow a 2-step procedure. One is you have to select a frames page. The second one is hyperlinking the frames to web pages. Now, once you created the frames page, let us see how you will save it. Saving a frames page. This is the topic which we will be discussing now. After creating your web page with the help of frames page, now you have to save your web page before it displays on the browser. Every time you make changes in your web page, you have to save your web page to reflect the current changes. You can also use save option to save your current work if you do not have time to design a website in one go. If you get time to work on your saved incomplete website, then just open it from the file menu and select open command. For this, you have to follow the steps which I will be explaining to you now, and you have to listen to them carefully if you want to implement them. First of all, you select the design view from the bottom of the document window. Then select the file menu and click on the save as option. So, the save as dialog box gets invoked. Type a file name that you want to give to the frames in the file name box, and then select a location on your disk where you want to save the page. Then ultimately you click on the save button. Now, how we can control the appearance of frames? Of course, is it possible on looking at a website to know whether it was created using frames or not? It may not be possible always. However, as a developer, you can know it, because since you developed many web pages, maybe based on the knowledge and experience you have, you can know it. But a layman, for them with a little knowledge, will be very difficult to find out. Now, let us see how we can control the appearance of the frames. Frames pages can be divided further to control the appearance of frames on a web page. You can divide a frame page horizontally or vertically to create 2 frames. You can also divide it into rows or columns. You can change the size of frames or delete unnecessary frames by selecting or dragging frame borders. You can also choose to show or hide the borders between frames. So, you can perform operations such as split a frame, resize a frame, delete a frame, show or hide frame borders on any frame page. Now, let us consider splitting of a frame, how it can be done. Open the frames page you want to modify and select design view from the bottom of the document window. You can split your frame by dragging or even divide it in columns or rows. In dragging, press and hold down control keys and drag any frame border. In other ways, select the frame you want to split by clicking it. On the frames menu, click split frame and then select the appropriate option for splitting. You can select the split frame option by again going to the frames option. It is also possible that you resize a frame. In Microsoft Expression Web, you can resize frames according to use by dragging its border or by specifying the exact position setting you want. For resizing frames, first open the frames page that you want to resize a frame and do the sequence of steps that we will be discussing now. Of course, first you select the design view from the bottom of the document window. Then right click in the frame and click on the frame properties from the shortcut menu. In the frame size area, adjust the width and height. That is, frame size will be either adjusted at width level or height level based on the settings you make. Now you have to specify the frame size options. There are three ways to measure the size of the frames. These options are in pixels, in percentage, and you can also relatively do it. Using pixel option, it is possible that you specify the actual pixel size in terms of width and height. Using pixel option, you can specify the actual pixel size in terms of width and height, for example 300 by 300 of the frame on your screen. In percentage, you specify the percentage of the width or height of boxes. The relative option specifies location relative to a position in XY coordinates. Now, you created a frame, then it is possible to control its appearance. Now, another thing is, at a particular point of time after its creation, you will decide that you don't need that frame. So, it is possible to delete a frame from the frames page. When you delete a frame from a frames page, the page shown in that frame is deleted, but the remaining content of the frames page is not. Whatever page was in the deleted frame disappears from that frames page, but is still in your website folders. After you delete a frame, the remaining frames expand to fill the space left by the frame you removed. So you select the design view from the bottom of the document window. Select the frame you want to delete by clicking select the frames menu and click on the delete frame option. So by doing that, the frame is deleted. Now there are several additional options in the frames. One option is editing the content of the attached to the frames. So in the Microsoft Expression Web, you can edit your existing pages attached to the frames directly from the frame itself. So whatever content is there in the attached pages to a frame, they can be edited. So first select a frame in a page view by clicking on the specific frame. If you face any problem related to the size of the window for editing it, you can open it in a new full size window. And in case you want to edit it, then the content you have to do is that, of course, you have to perform some steps on the content. So one is that you again select the design view from the bottom of the document window. Right click anywhere on the page and then click on the open page in the new window on the shortcut menu. Now let us change the initial page shown in a frame. To change the initial page shown in the frame, you can edit the hyperlink to set it to a new page. To change the initial page for a frame, you have to perform some steps. Like one step is that you select the design view from the bottom of the document window, right click in the frame and click the frame properties on the shortcut menu. In the initial page box, and then you have to type the URL and then the location of the initial page you want to show in the frame. Now, it is also possible to rename a frame. You can also rename it using your existing frame. For example, first open the page for which you want to rename a frame and take some actions. So the first action will be that you select the design view from the bottom of the document window. Then you right click in the frame and click on the frame properties from the shortcut menu. In the name box, type the new name for the frame. It is also possible to lock a frame. The Microsoft Expression Web provides facilities through frames pages to lock the frames such that site visitors cannot resize the frames of his/her browser. It is due to the contents and design issues However, for locking your frames, you have to follow certain steps. The step 1 is that select the design view from the bottom of the document window. Then right click in the frame and click on the frame properties from the shortcut menu. Under these options, you can clear the checkbox named as resizable in browser. You can see this option in the coming up image. It is also possible that we preview in a browser. For example, after completing the design, you would like to preview your website in a browser. Select File menu and click on the Preview in Browser option. This option opens your web page in a suitable browser. For example, you can see the web page preview in Internet Explorer. Now, let's briefly discuss about the purpose of forms in web designing. A form is used to interact and gather some information about website visitors on a website. It is similar to the concept of a form on a paper, except that you create it online on the websites. Basically, you are expected to enter information into form fields while visiting a website. The forms consist of different types of items such as option buttons, checkboxes, drop-down boxes, text boxes. You have to enter information related to their respective fields. In general, checkboxes, option button and drop-down boxes are used to ask preferences of a website visitor. If you want the website visitor to insert comments, then you have to be used text boxes and text areas. With the help of them, it is possible to insert the comments. It is also possible that you use forms on your website for purposes like registering a new user, logging into the website to get feedback about your website, to get contact information from the visitors, to get orders or gather shipping or billing information in case you have developed an e-business website, to offer searching facility from the website through a text box. It is also possible to store all the information submitted by users in a database. You can also display the results back to the visitor as a confirmation of their entries. If you maintain a database of the visitors, it will help you to retrieve data next time when the user logs into your website again. Please note that here that to process the data made available through forms, you must use some of the client and server-side scripting languages. Unfortunately, a detailed discussion on the client and server-side scripting languages is not covered in this particular course. You can refer to any other course on the Swayam platform or any other online platform to learn that. So, you will be able to create forms, but to process the forms, data you need to learn scripting languages. Now, let us see what are the fields of a form. A form can be made of several fields. The selection of a form field are dependent on the type of information that you want to gather. For instance, if you want to get the contact number or email ID of a website visitor, you may have to use text boxes. If you want to ask the site visitor about his or her experiences or her preferences, then you may use options button or radio buttons. So, you can see the sample form of a form. In fact, I have to say that you can see the image with a sample form. A form may consist of different fields. Some of the frequently used fields of a form are text box. You can use text box to get a small amount of text such as email ID and a name. Also, it is possible to use radio or option buttons. You can use option buttons for making selection among given alternatives. A user can select the option through a simple click of a mouse. For example, in figure 9, you can select a category using option buttons. For example, in the case of text area, you can ask for a large amount of text in the text area. For example, in case you see the image, you can ask for a user to submit their comments through a text para. So, in the case of a drop-down box, you can use drop-down box to facilitate your site visitor by providing a drop-down list of your choice. The visitor may be allowed to select multiple options from the drop-down list. For example, in the figure, if you see, the date of birth selection is through the drop-down menu or lists for a day, month and year. So please note that in this example, you can select only a single value for each drop-down list. Then you have checkbox. You can use checkbox for the selection of optional items. A site visitor can select or clear the checkbox according to his or her choices. They can also be select multiple items. For example, in the image if you see, a site visitor who is a graduate may check the boxes marked with 10, 12 and graduate. Now if you consider a group box, you can use a group box to assemble multiple related controls in a separate area from the rest of the form. Again, if you check the image, the personal details are grouped in a group box. It contains information regarding qualification, date of birth and the category. So now you should get an idea about the forms, but how to create the forms and how to add various items into them, we will discuss them shortly. However, what I'll be doing is that this particular discussion I shall reserve to the next session, because time may not be sufficient to cover these things in this particular session. So I thank all of you for attending the today's session. In case you have any questions or doubts, please feel free to mail me on pvsuresh@ignou.ac.in. Thank you very much.